Entering the 2020 season as defending NL Central champs, the Cardinals have no plans to abandon that perch anytime soon. St. Louis survived a three-team scrum, outlasting the Cubs and Brewers down the stretch and advancing to the NLCS. The Central will once again be a battle. Paul Goldschmidt and company know they'll need to be on their game from day one if they want St. Louis to be not just the gateway to the West, but to the World Series.
How's it going, everybody? Two Clutch here, and welcome to the first episode of my St. Louis Cardinals franchise here on MLB The Show 20. It was quite the season last year for the St. Louis Cardinals, a postseason berth for the first time since 2015. They did make their way to the National League Championship Series before being swept by the eventual World Series champion Washington Nationals. At the beginning of the 2019 season, it wasn't looking like it was going to be a playoff season for the St. Louis Cardinals, but they were able to get into position and get on a run just like they did in 2018, but this time they closed it out on the final day of the season with a NL Central title, a 5-game series win against the Braves, but unfortunately their offense did not seem to wake up in the series against Washington. So this year, the Cardinals, with expectations of trying to rebound and go back to the playoffs and hopefully try and go further, and looking for a rebound season out of Paul Goldschmidt. He didn't have a bad first year with the Cardinals, but it definitely was not the typical Paul Goldschmidt season that you would ask of. But Jack Flaherty really made a name for himself in 2019, an 11-8 record with a 2.75 ERA in just around 200 innings pitched. It was really a breakthrough season for Jack Flaherty. The Cardinals have been waiting for him to break out into that number 1A starting pitcher, and in the second half of last season, he really came out onto the scene. Paul DeJong as well had a great year last year for St. Louis. He became one of the best fielding shortstops in the game, and in the first half of the season, really swung the bat well. Had a 30-30 season with 30 doubles, 30 homers, but his batting average was quite low, hit only .230. But he's now on to a long-term contract extension. He's under contract for the next 4 seasons, so he'll be a free agent when he reaches age 30. Kolten Wong is a guy that I really am wanting to extend. He won his first career Gold Glove last year, and last year was a great offensive season all around for Kolten Wong. Had 25 doubles, had 11 home runs, and really was an on-base machine in the leadoff spot for us. And going into his last year of his rookie contract, it is going to be a tough decision whether or not that we want to re-sign him and extend him at the All-Star break with Tommy Edman waiting in the works. The outfield is our biggest offensive question, as Marcell Ozuna, our certified slugger in the middle of that lineup, went to the Atlanta Braves in the offseason. So now it's a smorgasbord of outfielders that the Cardinals have to play with. Starting in left field for us this year is going to be the 24-year-old Canadian Tyler O'Neill, who has great power potential but has just not gotten the playing time yet to really showcase what his skill set can provide. He is very strikeout prone. He is not disciplined. He is a very fast player as well. His fielding could be better. A guy that a lot of Cardinals fans were hoping was going to be a star in the making was Harrison Bader, and boy, did he not have a good year last year. He just 205 and an OPS just around 700. And Dexter Fowler has not produced what the contract says he has for the St. Louis Cardinals. After a awful 2018 season, to put it bluntly, he rebounded nicely last year, had a 750 OPS, 19 home runs, but he's making $16.5 million for the next 2 years, so Fowler is going to have to figure it out because Dylan Carlson is waiting in the works behind him. 21 years old is Carlson, a 68 overall and an A potential, a switch-hitting outfielder just like Dexter Fowler. His fielding could use a lot of work, but his power and his hitting numbers right now at his age, I think could be MLB ready if we give him about a month or so in the minors to try and fix out that swing. Another option in center field is Lane Thomas. He did not get a lot of opportunities last year, but in the short amount of plate appearances he did have, he was pretty good. Had an OPS over 1,000, had 4 home runs, including a grand slam against the Pirates. His defense could use some work in center field, but Lane Thomas is also a nice depth piece in center field. On to the rotation, and we will focus here on Myles Michaelis. Going into his third year as a Cardinal, his 2019 campaign was not like his breakout 2018 season that earned him his contract extension that he's on right now. His ERA went up by over a run and went 9-14 last year. And now he's on the books to make $17 million a year for the next 4 seasons. So having a bounce back year for Michaelis is going to be key. And a big decision was made, and that is to bring Carlos Martinez back to the rotation. He was injured in 2018, and he came back from the injured list as a reliever, and that's where he stayed all of 2019. He did not start a game out of the rotation, went 4-2, and he was the primary closer, as Giovanni Gallegos and Jordan Hicks backed him up. Back for at least another season is Adam Wainwright. He's age 38, and last year I don't think was that bad of a season for him. He's not the typical pitcher that you were expecting out of Adam Wainwright in years past. Now he's up in age, but he's a solid number 4 starter for us. And a big reliever that we're going to need to bounce back this year is Andrew Miller. He has not been the Andrew Miller of past years with the Yankees and Cleveland Indians. And it seems like ever since the World Baseball Classic, Andrew Miller just has not been the same kind of pitcher. And last year was giving up more home runs than usual. But we got a breakout season as well out of Giovanni Gallegos, who the Cardinals got from the Yankees for Luke Voigt in 2018. And last year had 19 holds and 74 innings and a 2.31 ERA. I like where Gallegos is at right now, and he's going to be our closer, as Jordan Hicks is going to be our main right-handed setup man. He lost his 2019 campaign to Tommy John surgery, so he is back. He's going to be in the rotation for opening day out of the bullpen. Last year had 28 innings pitched, 16 hits, and 10 earned runs. So let's get the season underway, shall we? We will kick off the season in Cincinnati, as in this episode we will have the entire first 3-game series here at Great American Ballpark, as Jack Flaherty and Trevor Bauer will go toe-to-toe here on opening day from Cincinnati. The Reds have a lot of big signings that they made in the offseason, like Mike Moustakas from the Brewers, and Nicholas Castellanos, who was productive with the Chicago Cubs when he was traded from Detroit last year at the deadline. But their rotation was a solid one, with now Trevor Bauer, Sonny Gray, and Luis Castillo being their 1, 2, and 3 starting pitchers. The Reds can make some noise this year if they're able to stay consistent, and the potential of these new signings live up to what they want them to be. So here's a look at Trevor Bauer, who did not have a great of season last year like he did in 2018. A 4.48 ERA last year for Bauer in 34 starts, split the season between Cleveland and Cincinnati after being traded at the deadline. So Kolten Wong, our leadoff hitter, will lead things off for St. Louis. Had 11 home runs last year and hit .285. And in the first plate appearance of the season, will draw a walk. So a good start for St. Louis as Wong gets on to start the inning. Tommy Edman, starting in center field, is hitting second in the lineup, and he goes down looking on the fastball. He went after that down and in slider, and Bauer changes the eye level with the low and in fastball. Now Goldschmidt hitting third, a liner to center, and it's Shogo Akiyama out there to make the diving catch. He was signed on from Japan by Cincinnati in the offseason, and he's already making a highlight reel play in his first inning in the major leagues. Paul DeJong up now. He fouls that slider away. Continues the battle, and DeJong takes the slider deep to left field, and this ball is gone. And that's how you make some noise to start the season. Paul DeJong goes deep for a 2-run home run. A 30-homer, 30-double year last year for Paul DeJong, and he's the first Cardinal to homer in 2020. As we take a deeper look at Jack Flaherty's numbers from last year, he makes his first career opening day start. 33 starts last year, 11-8 record with a 2.75 ERA. He had an ERA under 1 in the second half last year. As the first batter up is Shogo Akiyama. His first major league plate appearance is a fly ball to center. And there is Tommy Edman out there to make the catch. I decided to start Edman out there in center field because I believe his bat is too valuable to not leave out of the lineup. There you can see the Reds lineup with Moustakas and Castellanos, those 2 new big acquisitions, hitting 5 and 6 in the order today. Jesse Winker hitting second in the Reds lineup, hits one out to center, and Tommy Edman makes 2 straight putouts there in center. So Harrison Bader and Lane Thomas are both on the bench to start the season. And Joey Votto will ground out to short DeYoung with the easy play, and Jack Flaherty starts his season with a 1-2-3 first inning. We get a first look at our outfielders as Tyler O'Neill is hitting 6th in the lineup today, and he goes down looking on the slider. A good pitch there from Trevor Bauer, and O'Neill didn't know if he wanted to go around or not. And here's Dexter Fowler hitting 7th in the lineup. 2-2 pitch on the way, and he rips a ball into right. And an easy play for Jesse Winker, and the Cardinals are retired in order in the second. On to the bottom of the inning now as the middle of the Reds lineup is up with 2 on, and it's Castellanos. His first plate appearance as a Red is a 4-6-3 double play. Kolten Wong, the Gold Glover last year at second base, is the one to start the turn. And now Freddie Galvis, 1-2 pitch and a strike 3 called. I don't think that was strike 3, but Galvis down looking to end the inning. To the top of the third, 2 out walk to Tommy Edman as Trevor Bauer keeps the inning alive. A good at bat there by Edman. Brings up Goldschmidt, 2-2 pitch, and he does not go on the knuckle curve. Runner on the move, and Goldschmidt to deep left field. Another 2 out, 2 strike, no doubt home run. And almost at the same exact spot as DeYoung hit his. And this time it's Goldschmidt who goes out for a 2-run shot. 4-0 Cardinals in the third. It has not been a great start for Trevor Bauer. He has been giving up some meatballs on some 2-strike breaking pitches, and we have not missed. We have made Trevor Bauer pay, and we lead 4-0. But Paul DeYoung strikes out on a pitch inside to end the third. To the bottom of the fourth, 1-2, and Jesse Winker whiffs of the fastball. Another strikeout for Jack Flaherty. He has been strolling along so far here in this first third and 3 1/3 innings pitched. As DeYoung, a sharp ground ball to short, and makes that easy play for out number 2. Eugenio Suarez, the big power threat, hit 49 home runs a year ago, and he reaches base for his second straight at bat. He singled his first time up, now walks with 2 outs in the fourth. And here's Mike Moustakas, who walked his first plate appearance as well. Comes up with a 1-2 count, and the slider inside will miss, and able to keep the count alive. And with that extra opportunity, he drills one to right center field, and how about that? In your debut as a Cincinnati Red, Mike Moustakas with a bang. 2-run home run to right center field, and the Reds are able to cut the lead in half. As the Cardinals' lead is now 4-2, the first mistake that Jack Flaherty has made today, and it's 4-2 Cardinals here in the fourth. To the top of the sixth we go. No score change has happened yet, and Goldschmidt will get on base again as he draws a leadoff walk, and David Bell has seen enough. Trevor Bauer's opening day start is over after 5 innings pitched and 2 home runs given up to DeYoung and Goldschmidt, so he will head to the bench, and Raciel Iglesias now comes out of the bullpen for Cincinnati. 68 appearances last year, a 3-12 record, and 34 saves in 40 appearances. A high ERA last year, but I think Iglesias still has quite some value for Cincinnati. As DeYoung fouls that 2-2 pitch back. And the changeup down and in. DeYoung strikes out for a second straight at-bat, 1 away. Carpenter up next now. He takes strike 3 called, but Goldschmidt running on the pitch, and the throw is high from Tucker Barnhart, and Galvis cannot put the tag down. So Goldschmidt was able to steal second base. 2-1 to Yadier Molina, and he rips with a fastball upstairs. And the 2-2 changeup just barely hits the outside corner, and Iglesias able to strike out the side in the sixth. Now to the bottom of the inning, and Flaherty serves up a base hit to left. That's Jesse Winker going the opposite field. Joey Votto now breaks his bat, a slow roller to short. The only play is to first, and DeYoung is able to make that for the first out of the inning. And now Eugenio Suarez is back up. 2-2 pitch is on the outside corner, a called strike 3. Flaherty's been getting a lot of those in this start and will gladly take it. And now Moustakas, 2-1 pitch and a fly ball hit out to left. This is Flaherty's last pitch of the afternoon. He goes 6 complete. And the only really mistake he's made was that 2-run home run to Mike Moustakas. Top of the 7th now. Dexter Fowler goes to the left side, able to beat the shift as the jump throw by Suarez is too late. So Dexter Fowler able to reach. And Brad Miller is the first off the bench for St. Louis as he'll pinch hit for Jack Flaherty. Miller was signed as a free agent as an extra lefty depth piece. And on that 1-2 pitch, he'll serve it back up the middle for a base hit. So first plate appearance as a Cardinal, and Brad Miller gets on base. 3-2 to the leadoff man, Kolten Wong, and he will rip one in over the glove of the second baseman, Moustakas. The runners got all mixed up, but the throw by Winker to Galvis is off the bag, and the bases are loaded with one away. And that will bring Nate Jones in out of the bullpen for Cincinnati, as that fielding error is able to load the bases for St. Louis and really try and break this game open. Tommy Edman up with the bases loaded, one away. The 3-2 pitch is on the ground, a base hit in the left field. One run is in. They're going to try and bring home a second, and Miller is out at the plate. Castellanos with the strike to home. The Cardinals were getting a little too aggressive there, but Miller is thrown out of the plate. They do get a run on the board, and that's all they'll get, as Goldschmidt a high chopper to third, and Suarez is able to retire the side, but the Cardinals go back up by 3. As John Brebbia is the first man out of the pen for St. Louis at a 3.59 ERA in 66 appearances last year, and his first batter faces a strikeout to Nicholas Castellanos. He has not had the best of debuts for the Reds. And then to end the inning, Tucker Barnhart goes down on strikes. 2 Ks for John Brebbia in a 1-2-3 8th inning. One away in the top of the 8th inning, 2-1 to Yadier Molina. And this one is on the ground to the right side. A diving stop by Moustakas, but his throw to Galvis is off the bag. Another fielding miscue by the Reds, but Carpenter comes up limping afterwards. He slid in the second, so he's going to be taken out of the game. No need to worry. He only was out for the rest of this game. No further time was missed for Carpenter. Bases loaded for Dexter Fowler, and this one's going to drop in for a base hit. And another run will score. 2-run single for Dexter Fowler. He's had himself a nice opening day. And it's 7-2 Cardinals here in the 8th inning. On to the 9th we go. 7-2 Cardinals as Andrew Miller whiffs Joey Votto on the slider. First K for Miller. One away now for Eugenio Suarez, and a fastball away just misses off the plate. And given the second chance, Suarez will walk. The second time he's walked in this game, and he puts a runner on base now for Moustakas. And he takes that up and away pitch in the left field, and that's 2 on with 1 out for Cincinnati. And to avoid further damage, Giovanni Gallegos is going to come in out of the bullpen, looking to shut the door and keep this lead intact and to avoid further damage. A 2.31 ERA last year. He was not the main closer, as that was Carlos Martinez's job, but now with him in the rotation, Gallegos has the reins as the #1 man out of the pen. And he starts with a strikeout of Nicholas Castellanos, the second out of the 9th inning. And Freddie Galvis, the last chance for the Reds, as he shatters his bat a pop up to third. And Tommy Edman, who moved for the injury to Carpenter, makes the catch. And it's an opening day victory for the St. Louis Cardinals, a 7-2 final score. This was an all-around good game for the Cardinals. Jack Flaherty with a great opening day start, and a good way to begin 2020, a 1-0 record for the Cardinals, as Flaherty goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, and Goldschmidt, your player of the game, with his 2-run home run in the 3rd. On to Game 2 of this series, and we're going to go into the quick manage section. As we face Luis Castillo, we send Myles Michaelis out to the mound for this one, as it was not that great of a start for Myles Michaelis, and already gives up a double and a 2-run shot to Winker, then a solo shot to Joey Votto. And everybody's reaching for the Reds. 4 runs come across in the 1st inning, and Tucker Barnhart finally grounds out to end that threat. Carpenter singles here in the 2nd, and that's all they'll get. And how about Luis Castillo getting a single, then a walk to Akiyama? So no damage done in the 2nd inning. It's been a great start so far for Luis Castillo, just 1 run given up so far. Back-to-back singles, a sac fly, brings 5 across through 3 against Myles Michaelis. Starting to finally find into a groove, and Luis Castillo has just been dominating these Cardinals bats. Just 1 run so far through 5 complete. 3 straight reach for Cincinnati, and Michaelis is going to be nearing the end of the line here. And that, I believe, is going to be his last at-bat, as we're going to pinch hit for Michaelis here in the top of the 6th inning with Fowler doubling. We'll bring in Brad Miller off the bench, just like we did yesterday. He strikes out, and Edman comes through with a single, and Paul Goldschmidt with runners on the corners. He ends up grounding out. So it's 7-0 Cincinnati into the bottom of the 6th. Alex Reyes will bring out of the bullpen. I'm really excited to see how Reyes can fare this year. He's had a lot of injury troubles ever since trying to make it into the major leagues, but he's coming out of the pen this year. And so far, so good. Despite the hit by pitch and a walk, he gets out of it. So 2 scoreless innings for Alex Reyes out of the bullpen. I kept him in to hit on accident. He did get a hit, though, so it doesn't really damage us. And DeYoung able to come through with a 2-run single to get us on the board in the 8th inning, and that's all we'll get. But Reyes is back out there for another inning. He serves up a triple to Joey Votto, or to Jesse Winker, rather. He strikes out. Suarez singles, but that'll be it for that threat. So Alex Reyes with 3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. That's going to be it for him. We're going to fall in this one, as I would imagine y'all would imagine. And a 7-2 victory for Cincinnati in Game 2. So on to the rubber match, trying to take the series win and the opening series before we head to Milwaukee. As Sonny Gray got the start for the Reds, as he is their number 3 starter. A 2.87 ERA last year, 11-8 record, and 31 starts for Sonny Gray. A nice bounce-back season after a lot of doubters were not thinking he'd be that great coming out of New York. Goldschmidt hitting third again in the lineup, and a 3-2 single right back up the middle. He's able to continue things in the first. DeYoung has had a nice series so far, and he will continue just that. Brought in the only 2 runs of the game yesterday, and now to lead off the first inning, he's going to bring home Goldschmidt, who comes around third, and he is safe. 5 runs batted in the series for Paul DeYoung, and the Cardinals will give Carlos Martinez a early 1-0 lead, as he will make his first start since 2018. Had a 4-2 record last year, but did not start a single game. So we'll try and focus on Martinez here in his first start of the season. 2-1 with 1 away early in the first, but he's able to induce a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the first. And the Cardinals able to keep their lead intact. Moustakas hits a ball to straightaway center. Tommy Edman back out there in center. Makes that catch for the first out of the inning. Nicholas Castellanos up next, and he hits a towering shot into the left field corner, but O'Neill is there to make the catch. So 2 loud outs to start the second. It's still 1-0 St. Louis, and then Freddie Galvis will pop this one up to third base, and Matt Carpenter will make the play, and Martinez is through 2 scoreless. He's looked calm so far. On to the bottom of the third, Shogo Akiyama. A little tapper to the mound, and there is Martinez able to field it and make the play. And 3 scoreless for Martinez so far in this one. Top of the 4th inning, 1-2 pitch to Carpenter will just miss off the corner. Now the count runs full, and the hanging breaking ball is tattooed deep right, and Carpenter hits out his first home run of the season. Carpenter loves playing here in Cincinnati, here in this bandbox of a stadium. A ball will fly out to right field just like that, and Carpenter is able to bang that hanging curveball out of here. His first home run of the year, and having a consistent season out of Matt Carpenter is going to be key. 3-1 to the next batter, Yadier Molina. He draws a walk, so the Cardinals able to get another base runner on here in the 4th inning. Tyler O'Neill next up. He is going to hit a sharp ground ball to short, but Freddie Galvis, a sure-handed fielder, botches it. So Tyler O'Neill will be ruled a base hit. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Now Dexter Fowler will walk and load the bases with 1 out in the 4th inning. It's been a long inning for Sonny Gray, but fortunately he gets the pitcher coming up with 1 away. But Martinez able to work the count full and foul that one away. And now he lifts a high fly ball to left center field. In comes Castellanos, but it's going to drop somehow. And the throw goes into Votto. He'll go to second with Molina going home. They don't throw it there. And a run's going to score. So it's 3-0 St. Louis in the 4th. And now Wong goes back up the middle for a single and a bring home another run. So a 3 spot in the 4th. It's 4-0 St. Louis. As now we're going to sim ahead a little bit. Another double for DeYoung, a single for Carpenter, and a hit by pitch to Molina loads the bases for Tyler O'Neill, but he goes down looking on the slider. The power of Tyler O'Neill is something I'm excited about, but we're going to need to see some more plate discipline out of him. as Fowler, with 2 outs, will hit a chopper to the pitcher's mound, and the Cardinals strand the bases loaded. Back to the quick sim. Carlos Martinez, just 1 run given up so far through 5 innings complete, as he has been just on the money today. Even though he walks Shogo Akiyama, he gets out of that jam. And Carpenter is going to single through, as well as Molina, but O'Neill strikes out and Fowler is retired. Suarez walks and Moustakas retired, then another double play ball, and that's going to be it, I believe, for Carlos Martinez, as it will be. Lane Thomas comes in to pinch hit for him. So Martinez, his first start in over a year and a half, and I like what I see out of him. John Breivik gives up a solo shot to Tucker Barnhart as the Reds get on the board, and Akiyama singles to make it a runner on first and 2 outs, and John Breivik is able to get out of that. Sorry about that. He's able to get out of that jam. As it's 4-1 as we go to the 9th, Jordan Hicks makes his first appearance since getting Tommy John surgery last year. Fly ball to left to Joey Votto. There's out number 1. Eugenio Suarez up next, and a fastball is left high and deep to left, and Suarez goes second deck. A fastball trying to go inside, but left too far up, and Suarez will not miss on that one. Had 49 homers last year for Cincinnati, and he hits his first here in 2020, and the Reds are able to cut the lead at half. It's now 4-2 in the 9th inning. But Mike Moustakas goes down looking on a fastball up and in. Strikeout for Hicks, his first of the season. And now the last chance is Nicholas Castellanos. And the slider off the end of the bat, head out to right, and Fowler makes the catch, and the Cardinals take the opening series against the Reds as they take 2 out of 3, and Carlos Martinez, a fine performance today. Did not strike out a lot of batters, but the result stays the same as the Cardinals win 4-2, and Martinez picks up his first win of the season in his first start in over a year and a half. Despite the 15 hits, we're only able to get 4 runs across, so it looks like the offense might need some work, but nonetheless, we'll take the series victory. As we now go to Milwaukee for our second series of the season, the Brewers win this opener 9-3. They're now 6-0 to start the season, so Milwaukee is hot. As Yadier Molina was able to get a handful of base hits, Harrison Bader sent out a 3-run shot. He was the only one to bring any runs across for St. Louis, as Christian Yelich had a big day. And it's Keston Hiura hitting out the only home run for Milwaukee in this one. Wainwright got the start. He gave up 6 earned runs in 8 innings pitched, and that's not a good sign for the Cardinals. Eric Lauer was a starter in this one for Milwaukee. And they were able to pick up the second game of the series as well. This was a much more contested game as the Brewers picked up 2 in the 7th to pull ahead. A 3-1 win for Milwaukee in Game 2 of this series. As no home runs out for Milwaukee, but Yelich is able to get 2 runs batted in. Daniel Ponce de Leon started this game for the Cardinals, got 9 strikeouts. That was a bit of a surprise. And the Brewers were able to finish off the sweep of the Cardinals here in Game 3 with a 5-4 final. Carpenter and DeYoung were the only ones to bring home runs. It's been a great start for Carpenter and DeYoung to start this season, so I like what I've seen out of them. But just the offense just hasn't really been able to keep up. Yelich homered as well for Milwaukee. Jack Flaherty got his second start and got beat up a little bit, 6 hits and 4 earned runs, as he did not get the loss in this one as well. So that's going to do it for this first episode. Next episode, we will take on the Orioles at our first home series, and it's Myles Michaelis trying to rebound after a struggling first start against the Reds. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you guys hit that like button down below and subscribe for more. The next video will be a Rams franchise episode that will come out tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys. Peace.